Today, we delve into a crucial aspect of relationships: why maintaining your frame and setting limits with your woman is essential. And more importantly, why becoming a yes man inevitably leads to a slow erosion of both respect and attraction. What I'm about to explain is not only something most of us have witnessed, but something we are often blind to until it is too late. We've all seen it. A man enters a new relationship and seems to vanish overnight. His once balanced life, full of friends, hobbies and interests, now orbits entirely around his new partner. The same friend who used to be a fixture at football games or gaming sessions is suddenly unreachable, his life gradually shrinking until the only thing that remains is the relationship. Even when he does agree to socialise, there's a caveat. He must first seek approval from his girlfriend. What we witness is the slow disintegration of autonomy, a man who has surrendered his identity inch by inch. This happens for two primary reasons, both rooted in psychology. First, he might believe he's found the one. In his mind, prioritising her is not only logical, but necessary, an investment in the future of the relationship. Second, he may be operating from a place of scarcity, having had limited success with women in the past. In his eyes, this relationship is not just an opportunity, it is the opportunity. The fear of losing it leads him to overcompensate, sacrificing everything he once valued in the hope of securing the one thing he feels he cannot afford to lose. While this might appear rational on the surface, relationships follow a different set of rules. Men and women seek different things in their partners. For men, the demands are often simple: companionship, physical intimacy. But for a woman, particularly one deeply invested in a relationship, the demands are more complex. She expects to be the centre of his attention, to have him prioritise her above all else. His friends, hobbies, even his own ambitions. In a sense, she seeks to integrate herself fully into his life. Yet here lies the paradox. A man may believe that by bending to her every whim, by giving her his time, attention, and devotion, he is securing her love and loyalty. But in truth, this is a dangerous miscalculation. The very act of sacrificing oneself at the altar of her desires strips away the qualities that made him attractive in the first place. What once drew her to him, his individuality, his passions, his sense of purpose, slowly fades away. The man she fell in love with is replaced by a shadow of his former self, a man too eager to please, too afraid to say no. This is the peril of becoming a yes man. By erasing his boundaries, a man also erases his identity. He becomes an echo of her desires, no longer the independent, driven individual who captivated her. And as his uniqueness dissolves, so too does her attraction. The spark that once ignited their relationship begins to die, leaving only the remnants of what was once a vibrant connection. Think of it this way: when a man allows himself to be consumed by a relationship, neglecting his own ambitions and interests, he becomes stagnant. The same drive and ambition that made him attractive wither away. It's not unlike the man who, after settling down, becomes complacent, losing the edge, the hunger, the spark of ambition that once defined him. When a man abandons the very traits that made him magnetic, the inevitable result is a loss of respect and attraction. The relationship, no longer fed by the vitality of his spirit, begins to decay. Attraction and respect are intertwined. A woman cannot remain attracted to a man she does not respect. And respect is not earned through submission, but through strength. Strength of character, strength of purpose, strength to maintain boundaries. A man who is willing to give up his life for a woman who cannot assert his own needs and desires is a man who will inevitably lose her respect. This brings us to an uncomfortable truth. Women, like men, often test their partners. They will make demands, sometimes unreasonable ones, to see how far they can push. This is not a conscious act of malice, but rather a subconscious need to gauge the strength of the man they are with. It's a test of his resolve. When a man caves to every request, he signals weakness, and weakness, in the realm of attraction is fatal. Setting limits is not about being cruel or dismissive. It is about establishing a foundation of respect. Just as children push boundaries to test the authority of their parents, so too will a woman test the boundaries of her partner. If a man consistently says yes, if he bends to every demand, he loses the upper hand in the relationship. And once that dynamic shifts, once the balance of power tips in her favour, respect with it is essential to establish your frame from the very beginning. If you allow a woman to dictate the terms of the relationship, to control your time and attention without pushback, you set a dangerous precedent. Changing the dynamic later on, once she's become accustomed to holding the reins, will be met with resistance. You'll face tests, challenges, attempts to pull you back into the submissive role you once occupied. And unless you remain resolute, you'll find yourself slipping back into old habits. The art of relationships, much like the art of power, is one of balance. Too much devotion, too much eagerness, and you become predictable, boring, easily controlled. But when you maintain your frame, when you assert your own identity and refuse to be consumed by the relationship, you create scarcity. Scarcity breeds desire. A woman will respect a man who values himself enough to say no. She will remain attracted to a man who keeps a part of himself reserved, untouchable. It is this element of mystery, of restraint, that keeps her engaged, that keeps the fire of attraction burning. Remember, attraction is not sustained through constant availability. The things we desire most are those that remain just out of reach, those that challenge us. In the end, it is the man who maintains his own path, who refuses to be swayed by the tides of a relationship, who retains both respect and attraction. As always, thanks for listening. See you in the next one.